Oh, what day is it? Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit late to talking about Warlord's Ruin. Like, probably a week. But yeah, let's just talk about it a little bit. I haven't given my thoughts on it. I like it. I think it's a great dungeon. It's got some fun mechanics and fun encounters. With that being said, the loot is bad. The atmosphere, great. The loot, bad. I'm not a fan of the jail encounter, even though I've done the jail cell encounter like 3 or 4 times now. It's just not fun to me. It's just kind of like you hit a wall. Like, it has great pace up until that, and then after that it has a great pace again. But it's just like you hit a brick wall and you just got to sit there and wait. Other than that, great pacing throughout the raid, except for the jail cell. The loot. The sidearm is good. The legendary sidearm, I like it. Is it the most meta thing in endgame? No, it's not. It's a rocket sidearm. It's the only one. Doesn't have the greatest rolls. Whatever. It's fun. Everything else is like kind of really bad. Honestly, with the origin perk, the way that it is astounding that Bungie did not give us a stasis primary, because the origin perk gives you like more reload speed and stuff whenever you break a construct. Stasis crystals are a construct. So if they made like, I don't know, a stasis hand cannon as one of the rewards, make it like a 180 or a 120, because I don't think we really have any stasis 120s off the top of my head. I know we have Ias Luna, that's a 140, Valpecula, that's a 180. I can't think of a 120 stasis hand cannon. So 120 stasis hand cannon with headstone. That way you have got an extra reload speed whenever you cracked a crystal. That would have been great. But instead we got a strand bow, a strand sniper, and a strand caster sword. Caster swords are so bad. Like, I don't know how much they'd need to buff them to make them viable in any sense. In PvP, I guess they're okay because you can send the thing flying and it'll get a kill. But like in PvE, it doesn't do enough damage to deal with bosses. And why would I use that for ad clear when I could just use, like, if I want to use a heavy for ad clear, I could either use a machine gun with like Dragonfly or something, or I could use a chain reaction heavy grenade launcher, which would be way more efficient. That's just me though. Or I could use a special weapon or a primary weapon for ad clear. So yeah, caster frame swords I already just have problems with. We didn't need a strand one, and we didn't need it right now. We have more strand swords in the game right now than stasis swords. Stasis has been in the game since 2020, and it only has one sword, and it's only available for like 3 weeks out of the year. But we got a strand sword. Anyways, loot out of the way, it's all bad. The armor is pretty okay, but the loot's bad. Lore-wise, we do get some cool stuff with Shax and the other warlord name, and Heffend, of course. Vengeance is the boss. I did try to solo some of the encounters just to see how it goes, and on it seems pretty fun. The worst one I think is the final fight. I don't think it's so the least engaging and least fun of all the boss fights is the first one. The final fight is the most fun, but the amount of those blights that get put on the ground is really annoying in my opinion. Nothing else about that fight is very difficult except for the blights on the ground, because I don't know about you guys, but for some reason it always just lands under my feet. Nowhere else will they spawn, just right under me. Could just be me though. And I do like that they don't force you to use strand, but using strand in the traversal section gives you some benefits. Like, it's just easier to do it because the grapple points, and I think that's cool. I would like to see strand utilized more like that throughout the game, but not to the point where you need to use strand for anything. I think that would be not great unless it's like strand trial or something. But other than that, I don't think strand should be required for anything. But I think, helping people out intraversal with it is fun. I was actually a really big fan of that, surprisingly. But yeah, basically making this video because I was asked in one of my live streams this week what my thoughts on Warlord's Ruin was, and I asked you guys. You guys seem to generally like the dungeon, but I really didn't give my thoughts. So this is kind of my thoughts in one place. I think it's a really good dungeon. It's not my favorite. I do prefer Ghosts of the Deep, mostly because the loot, in my opinion, is better. I love fighting Lucent Hive. Fighting Scorn is really annoying, in my opinion. They're just annoying. But I like fighting Lucent Hive. I like the Lucent Hive aesthetic. The underwater stuff looks cool. It's annoying to go through, though. Warlord's Ruin, the aesthetic is great. It's a D&D dungeon. You're going around. It's a dungeon. You kill a dragon, and you fight the undead. It's Dungeons and Dragons. That's all it is. Super fun. Really fun concept. I really like it. But I got some problems with it. Like the final fight with the blights under my feet, killing me. The jail cell, I feel like it's just there to slow you down a little bit. Not too much, but I feel like it stops your momentum too much. And it's too much of a just full stop. But yeah, loot bad. So if I was rating it out of 10, I'd probably give it like an 8. 8 out of 10. Ghosts of the Deep, I'd probably give a 9. It'd be a 10 out of 10 if the boss is scaled to the amount of players, because that final boss fight is what it is. It's super difficult. I haven't done it solo. I'm not looking forward to it. I will do it solo for you guys. But yeah, I know it's going to be a pain to do. And I know Warlord's Ruin will also be a pain, but I don't think it'll be nearly as hard as Ghosts of the Deep. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on Warlord's Ruin. Tell me what you think down below. Also, like, comment, subscribe, all that normal stuff. See you next time.